to the channel. In today's video, I just kind of wanted to do a recap of the last video I just did on Kerr Lake, Carl Lake, Bugs Island, whatever you might call it. I've never really done a fishing report video. The last time I think I did one was on Wattsboro Lake when I was living in Tennessee, but just wanted to kind of bring you guys into what we did, how we caught them, what the conditions were like. That way maybe I can help somebody that's new to the lake, or maybe some of the local guys that are just looking for some information. So January can be an amazing time of year to fish. That's no secret, I'm sure, to most people that fish year-round, like myself. But yeah, we had an amazing day. Caught a ton of perch, ton of drum, ton of bass, and honestly, we could have probably even caught more had we moved around maybe a little more, and not. I mean, we could have definitely caught way more bass if we actually just focused on bass fishing the entire day. But basically, we started the day out perch fishing, bottom fishing. Owen and his dad Tim, they wanted to fill the live wells up. They wanted to keep some fish. They love to eat fish, so do I. Plus, perch are just really fun to catch when they're huge, and they get big in this lake. So we started off doing that. We started way off points, mouths of pockets. 30 to 50 foot of water was the depth range for the perch and the drum. We mainly caught those guys on 1/8 ounce jig heads with gulp minnows on the bottom, just jigging it along the bottom. I was using some different stuff. I had some little net bait, crappie baits that I wanted to try out, and I had a 1/4 ounce jig head. That's what I was using. I had one good perch bite, and I did catch a drum, but those guys were really killing them. And you can't go wrong with a gulp minnow. I was just being stubborn. I didn't want to put one on. After we got our fill of that, well, actually, let me rewind real quick. I did catch a 3-pound spotted bass on blade bait while they were perch fishing. I was fan casting towards this point. We were way out of this point. I was fan casting as long as a cast as I could make towards the point, and I was just jigging that blade bait back. That's where I caught that one spotted bass, probably in about 20 foot of water. The rest of the bass were relating to pockets. It didn't really seem to matter what pockets we went into. There was bass in every single pocket, and they were all relatively shallow, kind of just floating around, suspended in 4 to 10 foot of water. It was really important that you picked a pocket that had some deeper water in it. You didn't want to just pull up into a really shallow, flat cove that was featureless. You did also want there to be a little bit of rock on the bank. You did want there to maybe be some clay or transition banks. That was kind of a factor. There wasn't really a ton of bait in the pockets we fished and caught the fish in. There was a little bit of bait, but the bass weren't really relating to the bait like you would think they would be, because they were fat. So they must have gorged on shad and then pulled up into these pockets to kind of just hang out, I guess, and get a little snack here and there. We tried some other stuff. I did try a jerk bait. I had one swipe at it, miss it, try to eat it, but I didn't really feel as confident with a jerk bait. But most of the fish and most of the damage was done with a jighead minnow. Now this one right here is a Hog Farmer spunk shad on a 3/16 ounce owner's range roller head. I had just picked some of this heads up at the fishing expo, and I hadn't used them yet, so that was the first time I used them. Really impressed with that setup. I was also using a Big Bite Baits jointed jerk minnow, which I've had a pack of forever. I caught one on that one, and I caught one on the Hog Farmer as well. But I think the big key difference between me not getting as many bites and Owen and Tim getting all the bites was they were using lighter heads, a little smaller bait, and they were using lighter line. I was stubborn, and I was sticking with the 3/16 ounce, and I was sticking with a 10-pound leader, and those guys just mopped the floor. Like they caught the crap out of some bass, and I still had a great time anyways. But yeah, I would say if you were to go to Carl Lake right now, focus on pockets the first half of the creek. Check the pockets. Start at the mouth of the cove. If there's a good point around the mouth of the cove, focus on that. Then work your way in. Just go straight towards the back, where it's as shallow as it can get. And then look for suspended fish out off the bank. They're kind of just sitting basically in the ditch of the pocket. So whether or not that's still going to be an effective pattern with all the ice forming on the lake, I don't know. But we're starting to get into a little bit of warmer weather, and we're getting closer and closer to pre-spawn, so I'm sure that kind of a pattern is going to continue to work. We also did catch some on the Nasty Lure Company. Our friend Casey his new bait. It's called the All In. It's a square bill that sinks and has a tight action to it. You can get this square bill down in just about as deep as you want it to be. One of the first casts Owen made with it, he freaking smoked one, and then literally the first cast I made with it when we went on to another pocket, I picked it up and had one come off on that. It come up thrashing and shook the bait. But yeah, so right now I would say you could catch them cranking, catch them on a jig head minnow. You could probably catch them on a lot of other stuff, but those are the two main things we caught them on, was a crankbait and a jig head minnow. And I'm sure we could have probably caught a bunch more fish on a crankbait had we actually stuck with cranking a little bit more and maybe actually fished like more rocky areas and stuff. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Water temperature was 39 to 41 degrees. I forgot to mention that. Very, very cold water temps. Air temps were also similar. It started out in the 30s, and it started progressively getting into the high 40s by the end of the day, but it was also very cloudy the entire time we were there. There's a little bit of bluebirds, guys, popping through near the end of the day, but there was also fish feeding the last couple hours of the day. There's actually fish busting on the surface, and Tim caught that fish that busted. It was a really nice spotted bass, 3.5 pounder, and yeah, it was all in all a great day, guys. But I wanted to put this video out there just to try and help somebody out, because I get a lot of information from YouTube myself, and I'm thankful for the platform we have to share what we know and share what we experience on the water. It's helped me out a ton, especially when I moved to Tennessee. I learned so much about the Tennessee River just from YouTube and, you know, online forums and stuff like that. Just people being willing enough to share their information to other people like myself helps you learn. So I hope this video helps somebody out, whether it's next January or the January after that. I hope somebody can find this video and be like, damn, that was an awesome day those guys had, and maybe I could do the same thing. But anyways, that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe. I got plenty of awesome content coming this year. A bunch of good tournaments, a bunch of other cool trips, big bass tour. Potentially going to be going back down towards the Pamlico to do some red drum fishing or something. I don't know. Ain't no telling what's planned quite yet, but I do have a ton of awesome content coming to the channel. So anyways, guys, I do have a little fishing trip planned for next weekend. I'm going to get out and film on Jordan Lake. I'm going to go pick my boat up, make sure everything's running good before tournament season picks up. But if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.